There's no comments. Okay. How do we know who's here?
Oh, it says right below. 0 viewers.
Thank God. For now. Can you be a part of this as host on the computer, or does it not let you?
If I did, it would record and then it would echo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, it's not going to be live. It's just going to be you managing.
Mm.
Okay, I don't know if that worked.
It's on Facebook.
Let me copy and send it messenger. And I cannot make
Yeah, send it messenger so I have it on here. Content isn't available right now. I can't get into that.
Okay, will it let you post this? Because no one's joined.
Oh, hey. I can watch live. I have the thing. Okay. 8 viewers. Hi.
What is that?
We have 8 people.
We do?
Yeah, that's what my thing says.
Why does mine say 0?
Oh. Gina, Adrian, and Michelle. Yes. See, and that's why I can't be a part of it over here. Because
Is that why it went away? I wonder if that's why it's not on my screen.
Well, here, let me close it.
Oh, yeah, that was. Okay. We got this. Now I see people. Oh, look, there's people saying things. Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to close out.
Okay. I think it's working.
Hi, guys.
What she said.
This is our first live, so welcome.
We're in a very tiny space.
Adrian is going with Shelby. Fantastic. I did get anybody who has filled out the registration, I have sent you the booking information link. I have 8 out of 10 people who have completed that. So if you're one who hasn't completed it, please complete that. If you haven't registered on my website, that is the first step in booking this cruise trip. We just created a poll for you guys to complete.
I'm learning this. I don't like being
there it goes.
Live. It's interestingly weird. Do they see the poll? They have to be able to see the poll.
Can you guys see the poll?
Oh, yes. We can ask.
We can ask.
Yeah. You know, I like the keyboard.
Yes, no. Why I can't see that now.
I need a mouse.
Yes.
It's active. Okay.
Yeah. What questions do you guys have for us regarding this cruise? we see the poll. Good.
Thank you, Gina.
Yes. What information do you want to give them?
Okay, so on the Canva doc, we want to make sure that everyone understands how to get registered under her link tree so that she can send you the quote.
So I will pause her there. So Jennifer, you asked registered for what? I filled out the interest form. So if you filled out the interest form that you want to go, the next step, we wanted to make sure we got the information to the people who were interested. That's what it was for. But now we want to get people on to register underneath my link, so that way I can send you quotes and you guys can give me payment for the things. So you'll register on my link tree as a new client. Once you have done that, then I'm going to send you a booking information Google Doc, and then you'll fill that out. It's basically saying, I'm going to travel solo, I'm going to travel with a friend, I'm going to travel, but I need a cabin mate. So it's going to give me all that information, so that way I know whether to send you a quote and what kind of quote to send you, because you can add on bar tab, you can add on sailor loot, you can add on the Virgin Voyages protection. All of those things you can add on, but I need to know that up front before I send you a quote, and kind of give you get that rolling before I send you a quote to get a deposit from you. Does that make sense?
Also, we should mention the itinerary starting off, so they know when we're going, how long we're going, where we're going, all that stuff.
You want me to?
Yeah, go for it.
So in the price that we put out, the price includes one night at the Hampton Inn in Miami. It includes your shuttle service from the airport to the hotel, and it also includes your cruise. And that's the cabin cruise, right? Like there are add-ons to that price if you want to add on anything. But it is the main cabin that is included in the price. It does not include your flight. It does not include any food outside of on the cruise.
And we'll be going, the cruise itself on Virgin Voyages is May 30th through June 4th. But Jessica did get us a group hotel rate at the Hampton Inn, like she said, on the 29th, so that we can make sure you guys get in and no one's accidentally missing the boat on the 30th. And it's going to be starting in Miami to Grand Turk, and then Bimini,
which is in Bahamas,
and then back to Miami.
And we will do
and it's 5 days, right?
So it's 5 nights.
5 nights.
And so there's 2 days at sea, and then 2 different ports that you get off the boat and explore and do things. There are excursions at both places. In the Canva, you can click on the links for each place and see what kind of excursions are available at both of those stops.
So Christine said, can we see the cost of alcohol and coffee somewhere so we know how much to purchase? Does Virgin Voyages have that listed?
They do have a good, I'll find that and I'll post that in the group. They are very reasonably priced. So like you can get a beer for like $7, and that's $7 flat. There's no taxes, there's no gratuity. When they say that they're an all-inclusive pricing, they legitimately are. So they're very reasonable on their prices. So I will find the average cost and I will get that posted.
Are the add-ons at a discount, or can we get those on board?
So if you were to book early, let's say $300 bar tab, you get an additional,
$50.
$50 of sailor loot.
I just booked that for my cruise.
Okay, so there's incentives for you to book them early. If you don't want to add them early, you don't know how much you're going to spend, you can absolutely just pay for drink when you're on board. You just link your card to your account, and every time you scan your bracelet for your to buy anything, it just goes on that at the end of the cruise. Then they bill you for whatever you you have purchased. How much if I want a room with someone? If you want a room with someone on the cruise, Lizbeth, is that what you're referring to?
Oh, that's Sam.
Sam.
Sam said how much if I want a room with someone, and then Lizbeth said I want.
Oh, I want to. Oh, I'm sorry.
So let's talk about cabins and how many people are in a cabin and how much that cost looks like and what that breakdown is and cancellation policy. Once you decide that you are going and you go to Jessica's link, and don't worry about the poll, Shelby. It's honestly not a big deal. I believe you're already registered. So once you go to Jessica's link and you register as a new client, it's going to ask you some questions, basic information about yourself, and then she's going to send you an email to fill out a form with the information she needs specific to our girls cruise trip. Once you do that, she's going to send you a quote via email as well with the information she gathered that you filled out. Then if you guys look at the Canva doc that we posted, it's 4 pages long, but each page is very informational. On one of the pages, it's going to talk about what cabins are being offered. They're all sea terraces, so every single one will have a balcony. The only thing that changes is if you're in the cabin by yourself as a solo person, or if you're in the cabin with one other person, because it's just 2 people per cabin, correct?
Yes. Or so there's two different cabins, a sea terrace and a central sea terrace. And I put in there kind of the difference between the central sea terrace is more in the center of the ship, and if you're prone to getting seasick, it's to get you in the middle of the boat where you're not feeling as much motion maybe. So if you're prone to being seasick, I would suggest, going with a central one. But, the other one isn't going to be terrible either, unless we have crazy weather. But
it's gonna be great. Don't worry about it. So price breakdown. So starting with your solo cabin specifically, you just one person in the room. You're not sharing any cost or price with anybody. Your sea terrace cabin and your hotel room is included in this price tag for the 29th, the night before when you fly in. It's gonna be $2,718. So $2,718 if you're gonna be one person in a cabin by yourself. If you're going to do a solo central sea terrace, so that's like she said, the middle, that one is going to be $3,043 for you as one person. If you and your bestie or you need a cabin mate and we match you up with a new friend are going to do a sea terrace, that cabin is going to be $1,454 per person, but that also includes a shared hotel room with 2 beds for the night before on the 29th. If you'd like a central sea terrace, like she said, a little bit more centered, less rockin' and all that good stuff, that is going to be $1,522 per person, including as well that hotel the night before for you both to share with 2 separate beds. This pricing does not include airfare from Phoenix to Miami or Miami back to Phoenix, but it does include the hotel the night before and everything you need on the ship itself. So your gratuities, your Wi-Fi, your classes that they offer, entertainment, and all food and most beverages except alcohol and specialty like coffees and drinks and things like that. So that's all included in that price tag for that I just listed specifically, and that's also listed on our Canva doc if you need to go back and look for it.
And getting you from the airport to the hotel, as long as you're in the group hotel room, you're gonna get the shuttle that they do, which they run every 30 minutes from the airport to the hotel.
And then as far as excursions, so Jennifer looks like she wants to rent a cabana, and that is an excursion option. So I'll let you answer how excursions will work and when they need to be booked by.
So we can't book any excursions until January 30th, which is 120 days out from the cruise. We can book them ahead of time. What I would like to do is kind of figure out who's going and get a feel for who wants to do what, and maybe we group up and make decisions. Obviously, if you want to do something all by yourself, you're more than welcome to. You can add those on your own on the app. You absolutely can do that. But I want to try to like see who wants to do what. Let's all book this, or this amount of people do this amount of people do that. That way nobody is left, doing something alone if they don't want to do something alone. That is kind of the thought process behind trying to have those conversations beforehand, but we can't even book them until January 30th.
And if you filled out the interest form, I'm going to periodically be sending out updates as a whole so that we can break down and discuss, oh, maybe people are interested in this excursion, and so on and so forth. And we're also going to not make you guys like show up mandatory for anything once we're there. That's definitely up to you. If you want to come, go, stay, whatever you'd like. Maybe you decide you want to have a group and you guys go do everything together. Maybe you like to just hang out and have a vacation by yourself and relax. The only thing that we are asking of you that I guess is like kind of mandatory-ish is we would really prefer if on our very first sea day, or sea evening, I guess, not even the whole day, just the night, that we all have dinner together as like our send-off into our girls trip vacation. It gives us a way to connect and create a sense of belonging with everyone in the group as a whole, and gives you the ability to kind of see who all came and showed up and hung out with us, and then that way you can also still go on your way and maybe kind of meet people that you want to go and do little things with on the side.
Yeah. And with that, we can have 32 women. So Virgin Voyages, with the group booking, they allow us to have 32 people together for dinner. They can guarantee that for one night. So that's kind of why we're doing that. And then any other given night, they can do 13 to 14 people. So if you want to break off, we can all connect our cabin numbers together on the app, and we can make reservations based on room numbers. We can connect and do that, and we can do that as early out as 45 days prior to sailing.
And Adrian, the deposit for the cabin and the total of the cabin and hotel to Jessica's link will be $500 per cabin. So if you're solo, it's $500. If you're rooming with a bestie, it's $250 a person, or however you guys decide to break that down, which I believe you actually specifically ask in the Google form that she sends you. If you register through her link, that's part of the Google form questions. But overall, it's a $500 deposit for per cabin.
Jennifer, are there any specialty dress occasions? So Virgin Voyages does so many fun things.
They're spicy.
They're so fun. On the first night, usually it's pajama party. So dress up, like bring whatever fun pajamas you want to wear. They have everyone come out, and then they have what they call Scarlet Night, which is where everybody wears red. They have a whole like fake wedding ceremony, and then an outdoor super fun by the pool party where they have a show, and then everybody's dancing in the pool, and then you end up jumping in the pool, having a great time. It's so much fun. So I will be compiling things like that to put in the group. What to pack for, the different fun things.
Matching jammies.
Yeah.
I was going to make us matching shirts, but if we want to go matching jammies, I'm down. I love a good silk set.
So let's swim in the sharks. Yes. So in Bimini, I actually have been on a Virgin Voyages cruise, and I swam with the stingrays. I really wanted to swim with the sharks, and they were sold out. But swimming with the stingrays was so much fun also. The other thing I love about Virgin Voyages is that they are sustainable, and they only work with companies who are sustainable as well, who do things the right way. And so the companies that they work with are very eco-friendly. So when I went, the company I went with, who was doing the stingrays, that boat, they went and fed these stingrays day after day after day after day. So when the stingrays saw that boat was coming in, they were flocking to the boat. It was
Oh, so you're just covered in stingrays?
No, you weren't. They're just swimming past you. Like it was a fantastic experience. So, who is that? Who wants to swim with the sharks?
Shelby.
Shelby.
Of course
I'm
you
in
do,
with
Shelby.
this.
Of course you do.
I am here with that. But this is also why we need to, plan ahead and get those booked ahead of time, so that way whatever you want to do isn't sold out.
I think we need a new poll for matching jammies. I feel like this is going really well. I love a matcher. Payment
deadlines. So we are asking that deposits are due by August 24th, and then final payment is due by January 11th.
Which is 7 months?
7 months. You have 7 months to pay for this. So let's say, what is that, like $450-ish max a month, right? If I can do math today. I don't know.
I don't know. It depends on what room you get and how many you're sharing it with.
It all depends, but let's just say 3,100 divided by 7. Yeah,
and
like
you're also subtracting the $500 deposit from that as well, right?
No.
Oh.
So like the max you're gonna pay is like $3,043. So you're just under $450 per month between now and January. And that doesn't include your deposit. So what else do we got? I'm a solo traveler. Anyone in Glendale want to hang and get to know each other?
Oh yes. Okay, so let's talk about cabin mates.
Yeah.
For sure. So I created a cabin mate form for those that are not having a built-in person to go on a cruise with them. Not everyone has that ability. So if you are someone that needs a cabin mate, you can fill out the form, and we're gonna go through the forms depending on your answers and kind of match you guys up in a way depending on how you answered the questions, we'll match you guys up with that. And we don't have to specifically say, okay, you guys answered the questions like this and we're putting you and you together. We're going to create an event where all of the people that need cabin mates that answered the questions in a similar fashion can all get together and meet and kind of see who vibes to hang out and decide they want to spend the same time together in a room, because it's a really big deal to make sure you're comfortable with each other, if that makes sense. Or do you have any questions about that? Tucson, traveling solo. Okay, so you want someone in the cabin with you, Lisbeth?
And if so, would you be able to kind of travel up here one night to kind of meet with everyone? Because I don't know if anybody else is in Tucson or not that's wanting to go that I've seen.
I don't know yet. Yes. Okay, she says yes. Okay, perfect. Let's talk about what you need to document wise, because you are technically leaving the state of Florida. You do not have to have a passport. It's not absolutely required. Does it make things easier for you? Absolutely. It's a much smoother, faster process. But if you do not have a passport and you don't plan on getting a passport anytime soon, although we do highly recommend it, you have to have a valid driver's license and a birth certificate. It cannot be a picture or a copy. It needs to be your birth certificate in hand.
An actual notarized one, I believe.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. Legitimate birth certificate. If you don't have one, you can order it from your state website. I have to do it often, unfortunately.
Not all of them offer it online, because I have to get mine because I don't know what time I was born and I really want to know. I have to go into my health department to go get mine.
Oh, okay. So Ohio, you just order it online. So check into that.
I did see a question about flights. So Jenna, flight cost. Unfortunately, right now, the flights aren't out that far out. Right now, they're only going to May the 3rd. But I would say anywhere between $350, $500 round trip, economy, roughly. That's kind of where you'd probably be looking at. Um,
2 ladies, possibly 3, planning on coming from book club. Nice. Make sure they fill out the interest form so that I can send them information via email, if you could, please.
Yeah, and then anybody who gets the interest form needs to make sure they, if once they're like, oh yeah, I'm really interested, we'll send them the pricing, the Canva.
So anyone that fills out the interest form, as soon as I see that I've got new entries, I email them your information, how to register, how to book, the
Fantastic.
Canva link, all that good stuff. So as long as they fill out the interest form, they'll get a full-blown, extremely filled email.
Would you have any deals if anyone wanted to stay an extra day or two in Miami? If you want to stay an extra few nights, you can talk with me individually. It depends on where do you want to stay. Do you want to be on the beach? Do you want to be on South Beach? We are just like a couple weeks, if not like 9 days before some massive event that's happening. Somebody told me, I don't remember what it was. I feel like it was soccer. I don't know. There's a massive tournament championship thing that somebody told me was happening. So prices are going to get pretty out there after we come back. It's going to probably start. So the sooner you want to book that, the better. But just talk to me individually and say, hey, I'm interested. I want to stay in this area. I want to be on the beach, or whatever the case may be. Or if you want to stay in a different area. And then we'll look at like, what can I find for you?
Out of country birth certificate, will that work?
What? I have information on
She's gonna look into that for you.
I'll come back to that.
Yeah, if you guys connect and message and you end up deciding there's someone you do end up wanting to room with outside of the cabin match form, that's fantastic. Even better, that works out great. Oh, awesome, Shelby, great. Yeah, these huge glasses on my face and I still feel blind. Did we miss any questions or comments or anything? I think I'm going to do a poll in the group about matching jammies, because now I'm kind of convinced that's a necessity.
I'm going back to the beginning. Let's see. Michelle asks, what is the payment plan? So as long as you put the deposit down of the $500 per cabin, you can make whatever you can pay. You can make $50 payment. You can make a $500 payment,
which is so nice.
You can make a payment of however you want, whatever works for you, as long as it's fully paid for by January 11th. Number of nights on the ship. So it is a 5 nights, 6 days.
And we'll technically, if you do like we suggest, very wholeheartedly suggest coming in on the 29th and spending that night and then getting on the ship the next day. Just because if you decide not to do that, there's nothing we can do about it. If your flight is delayed or you miss getting on the ship on time, we cannot be held liable for that. So we're trying to make it as simple as possible for you guys to not have that happen. Is there a limit on cabins you're able to book? As far as we're able to book, or as you're able to book? Which one do you mean? Will this be able to be watched back? This is my very first ever live, so that's a really great question. I am trying to record it, so I hope that's working. If it works, I will post it to the group for everybody to be able to look and watch, because I know there's some people that weren't able to make it as well. Cancellation policy, that's a really great question.
So the cancellation policy
hold on. Answer her question for limit on cabins for the whole group.
As a whole group. So I have the price that's listed on the Canva is for the 16 cabins. So I can mix and match them in a block of 16. Beyond 16, I have another block of 16 that is just slightly more, and it is only the central sea terrace cabins. So I think they're like $200 more, because that's the way that Virgin Voyages does things, only in blocks of 16, and so every time you block it, it's a different price. Same thing if you were to go and book it today or 6 months out, it's probably going to be a different price. So I will kind of forewarn people when we get closer and closer to that 16 number, say, hey, maybe we have 32 people who want solo cabins or whatever the case may be. We could do that, but it is kind of that first 16 cabins booked, and then I have a whole nother group
So
set
like a
aside.
tier system.
A tier system, yeah.
The first 16 are going to be at this cheaper price, so get in while you can. The next 16, it's going to be about $200 more, slightly.
Yeah.
And so now, good to know, Amy. Thank you. So now we're going to go over cancellation policy. This is a really, really, really big one for most everybody, I believe. I'm going to let Jessica take that over. Please take this very seriously.
Yes. So the cancellation policy. Virgin Voyages has a great cancellation policy. We are going to forewarn you that we are a group of women and we all want to go travel. So if you're booking a solo trip, great. But if you're looking for a cabin mate, and let's say you can't go, but you've committed to being in a cabin with somebody else, if you decide to cancel, and depending on at what stage, what day before the cruise you decide to cancel, you could get your money back. You could get future voyage credit to use on a future voyage with Virgin Voyages. But if you do that, then that leaves your cabin mate paying the full price of the entire cabin. So what we are doing is, if you have to cancel, then you are no longer allowed.
Placing.
What?
Okay.
So. If you can't replace yourself with someone, or you end up paying your full amount to that person, then you're not going to be allowed to do a future trip with Girl You Need to Travel. And that is just to safeguard all of the women from not getting stuck with a higher bill than they signed up for. Does that make sense?
Double the price.
Almost double the price, essentially, yes. So I hope that resonates with everyone and everybody can appreciate and understand why we're saying that.
Dead silence.
Crickets. The cancellation policy is, though, just so you guys are aware, it is on page 3 of the Canva. You have a 7-day grace period. Let's say you book it, and 5 days from now you're like, you know what, I don't want to do this. You can absolutely 100% get your money back. Between anything before 120 days before the cruise, which is January 30th, you can receive a full refund on any payments excluding your deposit, and for your deposit you will receive future voyage credit, which is good for a year. If you cancel...
Oh, well, okay, I'm sorry. So January 30th is the day they have to be paid in full, right?
Yes, but we're asking them to pay January 11th. So that way there's no stragglers.
But so the January date, they have to be paid in full. So you're saying if they decide to cancel in January, after they've paid all their monies, essentially, but they decide can't make it in May, they'll get their monies back, but the $500 will be a voyage credit.
Correct.
What if they split that voyage or that deposit within the cabin? Do they just get the $250?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I think that's something I probably need to clarify with Virgin Voyages too, because there will be 2 strangers essentially in a cabin, and we don't want to give out the $500 to just one of them.
Right.
But yes. So yes, I will get clarification.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions on cancellation policy? Anything that you need more clarification on that we can answer, or she needs to get from Virgin Voyages, etc.? I know it says there's still 13 people watching, but nobody's saying anything. Do we like the cancellation policy? Does it sound great?
Their cancellation policy is pretty good. However, in our situation as a girls group, if you're sharing a cabin, it gets sticky.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, most of us are strangers, but we're hopefully considerate strangers. Is my hope.
Yes. The insurance, Shelby, it is per person. Cost is per person. And did I know what that was? It was roughly 109 per person. But did have the split option with the rest of option like Wi-Fi. No.
Oh, on the Google form?
I don't think so.
Might have been a copy and paste.
Let me go to that
She's
Google
gonna
Doc.
double check for you. Then the other person would have to come up with the rest of by the end of January. Yes,
Correct.
that is correct.
Yes. That is what we hope will not happen.
We would like to, and we're not putting it all on you. Say, you just end up, something happens, you can't go. We will absolutely, post about it and help you try to find somebody. We can't take on that responsibility 100%. We'd like you to put in that effort, but we will obviously try to match somebody else if we can. We will help in that instance. If someone cannot make it and they decide they have to cancel and they don't find someone to replace them, we would ask them to please take that into consideration for the other person they're rooming with, and to continue to pay their portion, or find someone else to take their place. Like she said, the stipulation is if you cannot find someone else to take your place and you do not pay your portion for cancellation, we will ban you from any future girls trips at all, general speaking, for girl you need to get out, girl you need to travel, anything like that, because taking consideration for everyone else and a way to do this and create those connections is a big deal, and that's kind of going to come into play a big time there when you are sharing that cabin with someone else.
So in the Google Doc, it does say, are you interested in purchasing Virgin Voyages protection insurance? It is it does say per cabin. It should say, so it is $200 to $212 per cabin if you're a solo traveler. So the $200 is like the sea terrace, or the $212 is the central sea terrace. And then if it is 2 people, it is $100 or $106. So yes, Shelby. I should have clarified that a little bit more, and maybe I will.
So what if Shelby and Adrian are sharing a cabin and Shelby wants insurance and Adrian doesn't?
You can do one, and one person can have insurance, one person cannot.
Okay, perfect.
You can do that.
So it doesn't matter if one or the other wants it or not.
And I believe on the Canva I did link I think I linked the benefits of their insurance. Let me clarify that. I did not. So I will share that. It does help if let's say if you have any medical issues or whatever, let's say you have to be hospitalized. There is medical coverage with their protection as well that, your U.S. Medical benefits does not cover when you're out of the country. So there are some benefits beyond just, I can get my money back or whatever the case may be. So I'll send that out to the group.
You guys have any other questions, comments, concerns? She's also the wild one. Sharks. Gonna jump in on
I'm here
water,
for the
shark infested area on purpose. Whew.
Absolutely.
No, know.
I want to do all the things.
I'm crazy for matching jammies. I don't want shark infested water.
Shelby, I'll send out a link with the benefits of what the insurance covers.
We'll actually compile an email and send it out with everything like down to the nitty gritty that we talked about in the live today as well.
Annette, we are asking that all deposits are made by August 24th. That way we can get a good sense of who's coming, who's not coming, and we'll go from there. And then final payment again will be due January 11th. Oh, Jennifer, you will be so spoiled with Virgin Voyages cruise. You won't want to cruise with anybody else, I promise you. It's amazing. It's so much fun.
I'm going on my first Virgin Voyages cruise this November, actually, for
That's
our
so
1-year wedding anniversary, and I am stoked.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to ruin me, though, because I'm also going on their newest ship.
Shelby, Sailor Loot. So Sailor Loot is basically you can buy it up front, and if you can use it for anything on board. So let's say you want to buy t-shirts, shot glasses, cups, any type of souvenirs. If you want to buy any alcoholic drinks, if you want to buy any specialty coffees,
or get matching tattoos,
or get matching tattoos, or just a tattoo in general, because there is a tattoo parlor on site on the ship as well.
With me, it's fine.
I only have one tattoo, and I only want one other one. It sounds like you
need another one.
I only want one other one. But I will, if you're going to get tattoos, make your appointment soon and make it at the end of the trip, because you don't want to expose it to water, you don't want to expose it to the sun, etc. I wanted to mention the restaurant situation. Restaurants, all of the restaurants are included. There's no buffets. All of their food is top tier.
Michelin star.
So freaking good.
The foodie in me is like...
So we will, talk in groups and like figure out who wants to eat where, when, and do the things. And we'll kind of coordinate as little groups inside of this massive group. So that way, like, unless you want to eat alone, cool, fine. No judgment.
100%, Gina. Abso-freaking-lutely. I will add all the tattoos. I will not swim with the sharks.
And then will there be another live prior to the cruise? I mean, maybe.
Do you think we're good at this?
Are we?
Are we? Is this working?
I came from yoga and I'm a hot mess here, so this is our first one.
We can try.
If we need to, we absolutely can.
I would like to do Annette, like when we did Zion and how we all got together and had dinner prior. And gave everyone a chance to kind of get together and see each other. I'd like to do that for this, especially since we have a whole year.
Yeah.
Stars in the making. She's so good to us. I feel like there was another question up there. Oh, Shelby said, explain the not sure maybe later option for Sailor Loot and Bar Tab.
Okay, so you, if you want to book any bar tab, if you want to add any bar tab or Sailor Loot, you can do that up to final payment at any given time. But when you do tell me to add that, you do have to pay for it at that time. So let's say you tell me I want to go on this cruise, I'm ready to put my deposit down, go ahead and add the $300 bar tab. I will add it, and then your deposit goes from $500 to $800.
But you can add up to a certain time before we...
But you can add it all the way up until your final payment. Whenever you want that final payment to be, it just has to be done by January 11th. So you can pre-book and you can get, if you do bar tab, you can get that extra Sailor Loot. So
because it doesn't sell out. Bar tab and Sailor
Loot. It doesn't sell out. Yeah, you can add it at any time. Same thing with the Virgin Voyages protection plan. You can add that at any given time up to your final payment.
Correct, Jennifer.
Yes, Sailor Loot is for everything, but it is not, it doesn't go live until you actually board the ship.
You can use it to get tattoos, though.
You can, but it is not good until you get onto the ship. So let's say you book it and you want to use that for excursions. You cannot pre-plan your excursion until you're on board, and then you can use it to add yourself to an excursion or whatever the case may be. It's just it's not active until you actually step board on
it's
board.
also non-refundable.
Non-refundable. So if you add in $250 and you spend 200 of it, you're not getting a refund of $50.
The nice thing about Bar Tab I like with them is it's not a drink package, so you aren't I mean, I'm sure they limit you somewhat to what you consume, but as far as like how you purchase drinks or who you purchase drinks for, you can go ahead and just tap your band and get drinks for, you know, people in your group. You guys are like, oh, I'm gonna go get the next round or something. You're able to do that because you're just pulling from your Bar Tab.
Also, if let's say there are two people sharing a cabin, you can go in together and say, you know what, I want to do $750 in Bar Tab, and then you're going to get $175 sailor loot. You could absolutely tell me to put that underneath one person, and then you can then be like, hey, what do you want to drink? I'm going to get our drinks on one band, and then you can buy drinks.
You have a built-in server at that point, like not only a bestie but also a drink getter the whole time.
So, but you need to know that, like, if you do go in on the package together, then
but once you get on the ship, you can go to customer service and link the bands together to both get drinks.
So there's mixed communication on if you can go to guest services and split that. When I went, I was able to split our sailor loot, but I didn't have any Bar Tab. I had sailor loot, and I was able to do it. And then when I asked my my sales rep for Virgin Voyages, she's like, I don't have clarification on that. Like, there's mixed signals on, like, will guest services on board break up the amount and put it on two different bands.
Oh, see, I didn't know they broke it up. The way I understood it was they just gave access to both bands to the account.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So,
no, your account is your account, and my account is my account.
Got it.
Okay. Yes. Because you do have to link some sort of thing, because if you go over it,
yes, you have to link a credit card to your band.
Yes.
Is the Wi-Fi worth it?
I'll
let you know. I got premium Wi-Fi.
I can't. I was gonna say come November. I was fine on the free Wi-Fi. I'm like, I'm not paying for anything more than.
It's expensive.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what.
I think it cost me like $150 for the premium Wi-Fi for November. But Jonathan is a gamer, so he's gonna hang out and play his games on the Wi-Fi, and I'll let you guys know what he thinks, if it's worth the cost or not. But I think free Wi-Fi is pretty great. Either way, you're getting Starlink.
Adrian, if you put in 500 and you want to change it to 250, this is why I did not send out quotes before this live, because I wanted you to have all the information. So when I go through and I look at all of the forms, I will reach out to you and confirm before I send that out. That way, if you want to do 250, great. And then when we go to book our excursions, then you'll pay for it at that time when we book our excursions.
Separately, yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there's something above what she said.
I agree. I was reading the bottom one though. During the cost of drinks average. So the cost of the drinks, I will get an average price listing out for everyone.
They're pretty typical though, like $7 a beer.
They're actually very reasonably priced. They're actually cheaper than most other cruise lines. And they include the tax, and they include the gratuity, so you don't have to tip on every drink that you buy.
Are you literally just like tapping your band? And
you're tapping your band to get a
sign or anything?
No.
That's awesome.
I don't think I don't remember signing.
I mean, I won't know till November, but I will keep
notes. It's been a year, to be fair.
I will take notes.
But you tab your band. If you have to sign, like, yep, that's me. Cool.
It's nice that if one person drinks alcohol and one doesn't, you don't both have to have the package.
Correct.
Like, it's really awesome. Especially because the Bar Tab, even though it says Bar Tab, I really like that it includes, like, if you're a gym junkie, you can get the cold pressed juices in the morning, you can get specialty coffees. I'm not a alcohol drinker, but like you found out the other day, I will throw down for a slushie. So if they want to make me a mocktail or a slushy type drink, that's still considered specialty, which usually falls a little bit more on the higher end, I feel like, of pricing, but I like that I don't have to worry about this package that I'm trying to, reach this number of cost.
Yeah.
I just know that this is how much money I want to spend, no matter what it is that I order, which just puts me at ease, I feel.
Gina, each traveler can bring one. You can bring 2 bottles of wine per cabin. So that's one per person, or if you're a solo traveler, you can bring 2.
How much wine in the bottle?
Oh,
big?
a wine bottle.
Oh, like a
like the 750
milliliter?
ml.
Okay.
Yeah, the regular size
Regular
bottles.
size.
Yep.
So no Costco.
Correct.
Wow.
No box wine, like actual legitimate bottle. And if you do bring those bottles on, you have to, if you have your luggage portered in and dropped to your rooms, you do not want those bottles in that luggage. You need to bring it on with your carry-on when you're going through and walking it in yourself. And then you can drink it whenever and wherever. If you put it in your luggage and the porters are bringing it on the ship and delivering it to your room, they will take it out of your luggage and you will not receive it back until the end of the cruise. Same thing goes for if anybody's not been on a cruise. If you were to purchase any alcohol at any stop that we make in Bimini or Grand Turk, as soon as you come on board, they check that and then they deliver it to your room the night before you get off the ship.
Let's discuss, you've never taken a cruise before, not once in your entire life, and you're going, so you booked your flight, you land in Miami, the airport shuttle takes you and drops you off at the hotel, you meet the rest of the girls, and the next morning we hop on the shuttle and we get dropped off at Miami Port. What do we expect?
So I cannot collectively as a group select our boarding time. So when we get to the 120-day mark, which is January 30th, we will want to make sure that we all pick our boarding times, and I suggest that we all pick the earliest time possible, which is going to be like 2:15. And then we can get on board and start enjoying whatever the ship has. Usually they'll have small bites out for like lunch, and then they'll shut those down a couple hours in, so that way they can turn over and get ready for dinner by 5:30ish.
And also, so say we check out the hotel probably at like 11 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
Then we hop on the shuttle that we're getting to.
We're gonna get lunch first, right? Figure that out. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So because the earliest anybody is going to be able to board with priority boarding is 1:45, and without priority boarding, my option was 2:15. So
Correct.
I feel like the earliest option is going to be about 2 p.m.
Yeah.
So checkout's 11. So from the time we check out to the time we end up at Miami Port, are we eating at the port? Are we eating at the hotel? How is, like, what are we?
So I haven't researched yet what places there are to eat around the hotel.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that and kind of throw some options out there, and then kind of.
So we're gonna say we check out. We're all gonna get lunch together. Yeah. Whoever stays at the hotel.
Yeah, or if you want to opt out of lunch and just.
You're eating lunch with me. We're having lunch together, and then we're all gonna get on the shuttle to the Miami Port. We're gonna get off at the port.
At the port, yeah. So.
And can we give our bags to the porters at that point?
Yes.
Or do we have to take them with us?
No.
Okay.
They, as soon as we get there, they should be able to. The porters will take our luggage. Again, you want to have a bag with your swimsuit,
so
sunscreen.
Your carry-on bag versus your stowed
You
bag.
just want like a shoulder bag that's gonna have a swimsuit. Everything you're gonna need to be on board and enjoy being on board, whether that's
before you see your cabin.
Before you see your cabin. You want to be able to have all of that in a to-go, like a shoulder bag, I would suggest. That way, the bags don't usually get delivered until around like 4, 5, 6 o'clock, depending on when, and they drop those off by our cabins.
I would say whatever bag you kind of want to carry around with you on the ship throughout the cruise, because maybe you pack your sunscreen, your water bottle, yes. That bottle of wine, you kind of want to throw in there, and just stuff that you just want to have on hand. I would use that package to go onto the ship, because you're going to drop your bags off with the porters, and when you drop your bags off with the porters, you need to tip the porters.
Yes. cash. Tip your porters. They're carrying your luggage. Absolutely tip them.
That is not included in Virgin Voyages gratuity. So please bring a little tiny bit of petty cash to tip out things that are not a part of the cruise specifically, especially if you're going to be someone that takes an excursion. You want to make sure you're tipping your tour guides and things of that nature. They do work really hard to make sure everyone's having a good time, but they're not getting tipped out by Virgin Voyages.
Correct. The where is it going? The shuttle. I'm going to reach out to the company. It's a third party that does it. It's $15 per person, and their shuttle holds 55 people. So I'm going to reach out to them directly and see if I can get a scheduled time. Let's see if they, depending on how many people we have, I'm going to see what kind of discount I can get. Maybe I can get it down to like maybe $12 a person, and see what I can do there. But then it'll be, you know, a schedule. Like I'm hoping to get a scheduled time for all of us, and we all leave together to the port.
Can we select priority boarding, and how much would that be?
I haven't seen that as an option, Shelby. I think you have to book certain things like a romance package or whatever to
That's
be able to get priority booking. And if you're really interested in that, I can give you that information. But the romance package includes for 2 people. What all does that include?
It includes, so it's called the Splash of Romance.
Yes.
It's $250. Well, I don't know if that changes, but for my cruise, it's $250.
It was $250. It is, yeah.
It includes the priority boarding, which is, and honestly, it's not a huge difference. Priority boarding is at $145.
30
the
minutes.
boarding I got originally was $215. Whatever.
Here it is. It also includes curated daily cold pressed juices.
Yes, so we're gym rats. So we're going to go to the gym every single morning. We're going to get our cold pressed juice.
It also includes 2 3-hour thermal spa passes. It includes a shake for champagne. So Virgin Voyages has a super fun thing in their app. You can just shake your phone and you hit a button to confirm you meant to actually shake it, and then they deliver champagne to you. It is also billed to you if you do not have this option, just so we're clear.
Yeah, don't just go shaking and thinking you're going to get free champagne.
That's why there's a button that you have to confirm that you did it. And then it also includes a sail away hour, exclusive sail away hour, and sultry bites. So it's like an exclusive event for those people. You just get some extra.
I'm sure it's just more drinking and you know, meeting other Splash of Romance people.
So for the low price of $250, exactly. So I
did it specifically because it's our 1-year wedding anniversary. Yeah. So we're kind of
that's for her cruise in November.
Yeah, that's for my cruise in November.
I didn't put those in as options because I was like, I don't know that anybody's gonna want a splash of romance or to send flowers or this and that. So I didn't even include those on the options. But
if you do,
it's please reach out to me. Let me know individually. I can absolutely add those things.
Also, I thought the 2 3-hour thermal spa thing was pretty awesome because I'm definitely going to steal Jonathan's.
So that's the other thing. Like, if you add Sailor Loot ahead of time, you know you're gonna go to the spa, get a massage, you know, do the hydro thermal spa. Thermal spas are amazing.
See? It's like a heated bed thing, right? Where you're gonna like look out into the water. Or am I thinking of something else?
I mean, that's like a sauna.
Oh God, no! I don't like saunas. I don't want to sweat for no reason.
I'll specifically Google that right now. Thermal spa.
Should we bring a lot of cash or just enough to tip? I would say just enough to tip. I just went over my budget for November cruise, and I made sure to budget specifically for if I am getting off at a port, and say I want to go get lunch off of the ship, or if I want to get drinks off of the ship, or if I want to do an excursion. I'm budgeting cash for those things. So it kind of just depends on how much you want to do on or off the ships. Like if you decide you're a shopaholic and you want to spend some money, you're going to need to bring extra for that if you get off at the port and kind of just make stops, and you're going to need cash on that. I wouldn't think many would take card but I'm sure it's possible.
I always tip at the end of any cruise $20 in addition to whatever gratuities was already included that's getting paid out from Virgin Voyages to those maids. I always leave at least $20 at the end of my thing because those maids are amazing. They, will change. They come in daily. They clean your room. They make your bed. It's great. I always do that, and then the porters, $5, $10. And then, $5 for any excursion that you may go on for tour guides. Weather-wise, everything should be beautiful that time of the year, Jenna. I can get clarification for you more further than that, but it should be an amazing time to go. It is before hurricane season. It's after Memorial Day, so it's not quite as busy. Right before summer, it's
And no
time.
kids.
And no children on the boat.
That's my exciting, most favorite part of it.
Yes. Is there a menu for services with prices so we can guesstimate Sailor Loot? Yes, Shelby, I can get you that. So let me make a note of that. While I have this pulled up, the thermal spa area includes a mud room, a salt room, a sauna, a steam room, hot and cold plunge pools, and a heated marble.
Those are the benches I was talking about.
There you go. So a heated bench.
They're marble benches and they're heated,
Yes.
and they look out at the water. It's amazing.
Yes.
But you get all that.
And I'm become a huge fan of cold plunges here recently. I just did one yesterday. So they're
really
fantastic.
good for you.
They're really good for you. Yes. What else do we have?
Are you looking up weather? What are you looking at?
Menu.
Oh, menu.
I'm pulling that up on that. And
because you can get your hair, your makeup, your nails,
Oh, yeah.
massages, tattoos.
You can get everything done.
Facials.
Yep.
The whole nine. It's a full-blown spa.
Weather. That's where I was pulling up.
Warm, sunny weather.
So Grand Turk in May is generally warm, sunny weather, calmer conditions compared to other months, typically in the mid 80s. Sea temperature looks about 81 degrees, so perfect temperature in my opinion to be in the ocean.
Especially because it's warm water
Yes.
ocean, not California water
Yes,
ocean.
screw that. F a cold plunge. I said the same thing, Jenna. I hate cold showers, but I'll tell you what, cold
It's
plunges.
invigorating.
It's a new thing for me that I've literally this year just started trying and being acceptive of.
Menu services.
Yes, I don't know if I can. I'm gonna get menu prices on spa services and maybe the drinks and stuff, and I'll compile that and put that in the group.
I'll be basically emailing you guys every once in a while, blog style info, just to keep you kind of updated, keep you excited, keep you having any questions or concerns, comments, all of that stuff. You'll continuously get info throughout the time frame.
And I will give you packing tips, all the fun things that will help you prepare for the cruise between now and then. Also fun videos, so that way it gets you pumped up. I love sustainability and Virgin Voyages. There's a 3-minute video I'm going to post. It's 3 minutes. I promise you. Please watch it all. And you will be very inspired by what Virgin Voyages does and how they are going about things, especially if you are a lover of the planet and sustainability. Top tier.
And they, one of the excursions I booked for my cruise in November, they donate to the charities and everything.
All of them.
All of them. Okay, that's nice.
All of them they are partners with. And on all of our balconies, there are hammocks made by Leaf.
They were on Shark Tank.
They were on Shark Tank. I really want one. Yellow Leaf hammocks. I've been eyeballing one ever since I went on my cruise last year. and I really want one. They're hammock chairs on our balconies, and they are fabulous. They do sell them on board, so if you want to buy one, they're like $200.
Ooh, splash of romance or hammock.
You can always order a hammock from their website too, but they were on Shark Tank. They are a sustainability company in another country. I can't remember what country they are from, but Virgin Voyages partnered with them, and they're fabulous and gave them a huge, huge market.
Menu services when you send the quote.
I will try to get those menu services out before I send quotes out. Because quotes will come directly from my website that you signed up on, because that's where you'll make your payments, and it's a secure site. So
that's your travel agent link.
Yes.
Okay. So the travel agent link and how you guys register and pay and everything is different from what you'll get from like Girl You Need to Travel or Girl You Need to Get Out emails, because the email you get from me, obviously she'll collaborate on, but it's going to be very informative and fun and things that we also post in the Facebook group. The email you get from why can't I ever remember the
Journey Like a Gypsy?
Journey Like a Gypsy with Jess.
Those
emails will be
those emails from that specific Gmail are just emails, which I can email out those menus that way, and then from my booking link is where I actually send the quotes out. So, and you'll know it's me too. It says Journey Like a Gypsy.
And eventually, by the end of this, I will get it down. To me, she's Jess.
Yes, which is the end of my business. So it's fine. Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions? Ooh, you will love Virgin Voyages, I promise you. They have spoiled me, and I really don't want to go on any other ones. But as a travel agent, I am forced to, try out different ones.
I'm really excited to see what themes they put out for that year, what kind of parties they throw out, and everything as well.
Yes.
And we'll send that to you guys via email, of course, keep you updated.
Something I always preference to everyone, which I don't think we're going to have an issue with, but I'm going to put it out there, is that they are very LGBTQ friendly. They have a drag queen on staff. So just throwing that out there in case no one, if somebody is uncomfortable with that, you don't have to attend.
Also take into account Virgin Voyages is a little more on the friendly, nicer to
So
be comfortable with a little extra.
Like they're not super party, but everybody has a good time. It's so much fun. The staff is super friendly. I've made friends with some of the staff on the cruise that I went with, because I was with friends who had been on multiple cruises, and they made friends with some of the people on staff.
Do they do a really fun bingo night?
They do bingo nights. They do all kinds of things. So and on Scarlet Night, if you're out and about being seen on certain decks, you could be pulled in and invited to specialty things. I was invited to a magic show that was only for 25 people. So there's super fun little things like that too.
Yes, definitely post your questions. That's why I didn't want it to be, another thing you have to add to your list, but we did make Girl You Need to Travel so that you can have a full place of questions specifically related to our trips.
Yes.
So ask all your questions, post them to the wall. We know everyone else is going to probably see some of your questions and think, I remembered this, and ask that question. So that's what it's for.
We have an event in that site, right? Do we want to put all
the
questions
I did create
in
an
the
event for the cruise specifically, so you can post questions inside the event. But I'm not going to stop you from posting them to the wall either. I think it's a great way to get seen and have that conversation going as well.
Are there any other questions you guys have?
I have a year to get in shape. Okay, I have until November, and it's not going to happen. So let me know when you start getting in shape for the one next year, because I'd like to jump on board.
Well, you guys could have came to yoga this morning.
Listen, my body just sits. We're not bending all over the place here or running anywhere. Yeah, I don't really think I'm
I
gonna
don't
ever get in
run.
shape.
I don't run. If I'm running, there's something chasing me.
I like strength training, so I'll get stronger,
Same.
but I will stay fat and happy.
Yes.
I like my food.
Yes. And I want to clarify for you guys. Let me go to my tab. Who should we refresh this?
Well, we should start like a 75 cruise soft/medium, because 75 hard sounds so intimidating.
So I have Mallory, Adrian, Heather, Shanika.
She's on here. She
Okay.
jumped on.
And then Marie, Shelby, Shauna, and Lena. Is that Lena? Lana? Well, that looks like Kiana with an L.
Shauna does not have Facebook. She's only on Instagram.
Okay. So I have all of those people who have responded to the booking info form. If you filled it,
and this is the form she's talking about, is if you registered as a new client on
Yes.
our Linktree specifically.
That is the only way you get this form.
So first and foremost, if you filled out my interest form, I appreciate you. I know you're like, why the hell are we filling out more forms?
So many things.
I'm sorry. We have to. But please, 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 if you want to go on the cruise, if you feel like you want to take the next step, go to Jessica's Linktree, which is on the Canva, and it's listed specifically under where it says, okay, I'm ready to book, etc. I'm ready to book solo. I'm ready to book with a cabin mate. Whatever. Whether you know who your cabin mate is or not, still register on her link. That is the very first step. Once you register, everything else will fall into place.
Yes. I'm about to send out 2 more emails with the booking link info because you just completed that in the last hour.
Does anyone have questions specifically on registering to go on the cruise, to get your quote, to make a deposit? Do you all know what link we're talking about if you haven't done so already?
Yes. And I do want to preference when I send out those quotes, you have 24 hours to get me that deposit. If I go to Hold Your Cabin in Virgin Voyages and I send you out the quote, you have 24 hours to get me that deposit made. So if you're not ready, be like, hey, I need a minute. And that's okay. You can just message me. That's not a big deal.
Okay, so but what you're saying is I registered as a new client, and I filled out the Google form that you sent me with the questions regarding what I want my quote to have on it. Mm-hmm. And then you send me an email from
my booking link,
the travel agent link.
Yes.
And it's my quote for my $500 deposit on my cabin.
Yes.
And you send it to me Monday, June 9th. And you want my $500 by Tuesday, June 10th.
Yes, 24 hours.
And if I'm not able to pay on Tuesday, June 10th, $500, I send you an email?
Yeah, just send me an email and
that's
fine.
Then I'm allowed to hold it.
Yeah, an email. You can send me a Facebook message, anything like that.
And we can hold it up until the 16 cabins are deposited, paid for,
and then you'll be in the next tier. No, we do not have 32 women going currently. I have 12 emails out to women, so there's 12 women plus me and my cabin mate, so there's 14 who have the booking information currently.
If we can't do the deposits until later this week, should we wait to fill out everything? No. Please fill everything out as soon as possible.
Yes.
Because it is limited.
So I think I'm gonna reach out to you guys individually and be like, hey, before I send you the quote, just to confirm the details, so I don't waste your time, I don't waste my time, and we just kind of get it right from the get-go. I'll reach out to you guys, and then we'll kind of go from there, and I'll send out those quotes between sometime this week. This coming weekend, I have a friend in town, so I'm busy Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of things on this on booking. But during the week, absolutely, I'll be working through things, and then I'll pick back up on Monday of the following week.
And please, 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 times infinity, please, check your inboxes in your emails that you put into any interest form.
Yes.
Any Google form, anywhere you put an email in, please stay on top of that inbox. It is extremely important. That is where a lot of the very important information is going to come, like your booking link, your deposits, your payments,
Yes.
is going to be in your email in your inbox. Anything I send out mass information wise that I feel like you need to save or have able to look on later is going to come to your email inbox. Please look at your emails, please. And it's important.
Trisha, is there an advantage to ordering bar tab instead of Sailor Loot? So the advantage to ordering Sailor to bar tab is if let's say you get $200 in bar tab, you get a $25 bonus of Sailor Loot. So that is the advantage to getting bar tab. You get bonus money. It's free money. So it just depends on what you're going to use the money for. So if you know you're going to drink and you're going to spend $200-300 on drinking or specialty drinks, then get the bar tab, get the free Sailor Loot money. You can always you could just do Sailor Loot, and you could use Sailor Loot for the bar drinks also, and things you want to buy on there. You could also not do any of it, or a mix between ordering adding this up front and then purchasing as needed afterwards as well when you're on there, because you'll link a credit card or a debit card to your cabin, to your individual self, which is going to be attached to a wristband that you'll wear, and that's how you pay for things, and you'll have a credit card or debit card attached to that. And at the end of the cruise, they'll give you an invoice and say, hey, this is how much money you owe. And if you have any disputes on it, you can always go to the Sailor Services and kind of take care of that from there.
Shelby, if we want to edit before the quote comes out, so Jessica is going to email you. Anybody that filled out the registration link is going to email you and ask you any pending changes or questions before she sends you the quote, because once she sends you the quote, you have that 24 hours to secure your spot. So that's why you're going to keep an eye on your inbox.
And if I do send you the quote and there's something in the quote that you're like, no, I don't want that, you can decline the quote, put a note in there, I want to change such and such. So there's a way to go back and forth with the quote also if I don't have that quote correct. So you can decline the quote and put a note in there, and it's just an email exchange back and forth. If you want to reach out to me via email, if you want to reach out to me via messages here on Facebook, I'm fine with that too. Shelby, if you already know what you want, please just shoot me a Facebook message.
Bar tab and Sailor Loot are non-refundable.
Non-refundable.
You use it or lose it.
Yes.
Which is the nice thing that we were talking about earlier. It's not a package. So if you're on there and you're like, oh my gosh, I have this much money left, we get off the ship tomorrow, you can just, buy around, whatever to use it. But if you don't use it and you go to checkout and you have $50 on there or $75 on there, you lost that money.
You can absolutely 100%. We're not driving anywhere. So 7 a.m. on the day we get off the cruise, you can start drinking and use that bar tab before you get off that boat.
I'm getting all the slushies. Do you guys have any questions? I want to make sure we have a clear understanding of cabin mates. Mm-hmm. If you do need a cabin mate, do you all understand regarding having a cabin mate that you may not know? Or if you do have one, do you have any questions around that subject? Because I feel like that's a little bit more, a little less straightforward.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm a slow typer. Maybe they're trying.
It's fair.
And Jessica said you can message her on Facebook and email
Yes.
her and things like that. You cannot message me on Facebook, so all of my communication will come via email or within the group itself.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. That's absolutely right. I was looking at a bar somewhere here in town, and it said something about it's 3:45 somewhere, and I don't understand the reference. I would love to know that, but I was looking for happy hour things, and it said it's 3:45 somewhere. So it's sometime anywhere.
I
Who
feel like
knows?
that's
Who
the
cares?
time kids get out of school and like moms definitely need a beverage.
Fair point. Any other questions you guys have? If there are any other questions when we do finish this up, please put them on the group page. That way everybody can see them. If you need to reach out to me directly regarding any little things that you may want to change or questions you may want to have, please reach out to me. What if we have an unequal cabin match up? I think
we'd be okay.
we'll have to figure that out when the time comes. We have to see who's interested, who really wants to go, and ultimately, if somebody doesn't end up getting matched up and they're not okay with like a single rate, then it's like we'll try to field for more people. We're always going to be posting about this, so. Yes.
The full deposit is $500 for the cabin specifically. So if you do decide to share a room, you will pay $250 and the other person will pay $250.
Yes.
If you're a solo traveler, completely in a cabin by yourself, and it's just you, that deposit is $500 on you.
Mhm.
And we are gonna try to do more like fun group meetups in person, so you guys can all get to know each other. So if you filled out the form, you filled out her registration link, and you've made a deposit, you're ready to go, we're gonna try to get you guys together at events here and there because we do have a full year.
Yep.
So we can kind of get that group going, you know.
Well, I think if we can do multiple events, that way if people don't make it, other people have a chance to kind of come in and meet some people at the very least, and if we can do a few meetups.
Yes, and I will try to figure out like a Google group chat, so a virtual type of setup as well. They won't all specifically be in person, but that way you can kind of get some face-to-face interaction. And you guys are also more than welcome to introduce yourselves in the group. You can write a little intro post, share a selfie, just one selfie, just one, and non-refundable.
So the cancellation policy is on page 3. Please read through that very thoroughly. There is multiple tiers. So let's say you book it today, you have 7 days, you get a full 100% refund. After that 7-day grace period, but you're before 120 days before we sail, you get a full refund on any payments excluding your deposit. And that deposit amount is then future voyage credit at that time. And then if you cancel inside the 119 days to 45 days before the cruise, any funds paid will be converted to future voyage credit at that point.
That makes sense? I feel like that makes sense. So that was something else I wanted to bring up. I know there's only 9 of us in here, but it's still 9 of us, and I really like making t-shirts. I really one of my side hobbies is photographer, and as you know, I like to plan events and things like that. So I really want one photo of everybody that attends the cruise, likely at the dinner we have at sea that first night, in matching shirts, or if we do matching jammies and everyone decides to go to the jammy party. But I would really like to create matching t-shirts for the group as a whole, and wear those to dinner and take our picture to kind of commemorate the cruise itself, because then everyone will kind of be off doing their own thing for the most part, and so that's my one small ask, if possible.
And as far as the dinner, it is selected for us. They only have one restaurant that they will allow us to have all 32 people together. And I do not know what that was off the top of my head, but I'll find out.
It's probably Extra Virgin or Razzle Dazzle.
I think it's Razzle Dazzle. I don't think it's Extra Virgin.
It's probably Razzle Dazzle. That's their like main event place, I feel like. Well, not events, but their main dining.
I'll have to go back and if it's under circles. What else do we have? Anything else?
Is anyone against a group t-shirt? It would be an additional cost. It kind of like the shuttle per person. That's why I asked for your t-shirt sizes, just in case.
It's Razzle Dazzle.
I'm learning. Look at that. And there's so many. I know Jessica's gonna drop so many really cool videos and photos and everything, but there's so much cool shit on the ship to like take pictures and just be a part of the different I don't know, areas. What do you call them? I mean, it's just the ship itself is
The
like
ship is just so cool.
is so interesting. I would definitely do a tank top option for the Caribbean, 100%.
Thank you.
Yes. Zion was cooler. It was a little bit
Yeah.
more elevated up there. It was more. It was cold. But yeah, I can do tank tops for the Caribbean. I think that'd be great.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Thoughts, comments, concerns?
Oh, one thing I wanted to kind of do was bring disposable camera for every person that gets on the ship, and to hand each one of you guys a disposable camera and have that be your little thing that you give back to me so I can develop it at the end.
Do you know how much those are to develop nowadays?
Are they bad?
You should Google that.
They used to be so cheap. Okay, so
So did
we'll look into
so
that.
did eggs.
Oh, that's true. Poor Hickman's.
You usually have to like send them off now, and like yeah.
You can't just go to Walgreens anymore?
No, they send them out for a third party to do. Yeah, you should look into that.
Well, that's
Sorry to be a Debbie Downer.
My bubbles burst.
Can you bunk with more than 2 in a room? The answer
She didn't mean that face.
is technically you could put 4 people to a room. Are you really going to be comfortable? No. I'm sorry. You have 1 bathroom. They are not large as far as the rooms go, and they are like upper bunks. I'm like,
Which we found out at
up
Zion,
here, and they fold down.
that it is tricky at our age to get on bunk beds.
So if you really want more than 2 people, reach out to me. Tell me, we can figure it out.
Yes, I'll do a tank top and a t-shirt option. That's totally fine. I'm down for that. So Shelby, your technical answer is yes. Do we recommend it? Highly no.
I don't want to hear any complaints if you put more than 2 people in a room.
They're very tiny. I mean, we're in a very tiny room right now, and we almost fell over each other about 10 times.
Anything else? We're at 5 o'clock.
I actually tell you guys about where we're doing our little live. This place is really
cute.
cool. It's called Thrive Co-working in downtown Gilbert. It's right next to Oso and Whiskey. It's like above Whiskey Row or next to Whiskey Row, same building. And it's completely women owned and operated, and everyone that co-works here is also it's women only, and they have networking events and free Fridays, so you can come in and co-work Friday 7 to 7, which is really awesome. You can host events here. They have like an outdoor area, all these different little separate offices, desks, conference center tables, like this super cute little seating area. We're in a podcast room, which we're obviously not doing a podcast, but it's a really cool option that they have here. So that was just a nice little, it's our first time here. We learned about it today. We thought it was really cool, so we'd share that with you. gives us this really interesting background that we've got.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do some research. That was just an idea. I was really excited about, but you know, we all have $2,000 cell phones attached to us at all times, so I guess I will just ask for your Google links to your photos if you don't mind. Did you find out regarding the out of country birth certificate?
I will reach out to you directly when I have information on that, and I will let you know.
Okay, guys, we are technically past our time for the room that we reserved. So if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, please use Girl You Need to Travel, post to the wall, and make sure you RSVP to the cruise event as well, because we are going to try to consolidate information specifically for the cruise in the event. That way Jessica and I can discuss other traveling things on the full wall for Girl You Need to Travel. Also, post an introduction. I know I said this, some of you might have missed it. Post an introduction, tell us about yourself. Let's all get to kind of know each other and what our traveling things, likes, dislikes, all that good stuff.
Yes.
Okay?
And if you guys have any suggestions on group trips, short, small, big, throw them out to me. We'll see what we can do.
No road trips.
Or road trips hosted by other people.
Good luck, guys. Have fun.
Okay.
Enjoy your evening. Thank
All right.
you for stopping by.
Thank you guys. Bye.
End the live video. Yes. If you end this live. Oh, we can save it?